What would happen if we used AI as part of our process to design architecture? I'm Tim Ung, and today we're using Google's AI platform Gemini to develop a concept for a modern lakeside residence. My approach to using Gemini was to start with a simple hand sketch of a modern home with 3 separate levels. The ground floor, which is where the house is located, an in-ground pool that's set lower than the home, and a dock where we can get on a boat or kayak and head out to the lake. I uploaded this sketch to Gemini and asked it to generate a concept image of a house in a forest perched over a lake with a mountainous backdrop. These are all the images that Gemini created. I reviewed each image and picked out some of my favorite materials, design elements, and environments that were incorporated into the final design, 3D model, and rendering. I know I'm speeding through the model and rendering parts, so let me know if you're interested in longer form videos of my design process. After half a day of designing and modeling, this is the final design for a lakeside residence designed with Google Gemini. When I was designing the project based off of my concept sketch and images from Gemini, I decided to make it a larger luxury residence that has a 3,500 square foot living area and a 5,500 square foot outdoor area, including the pool, dock, and entryway. Looking at the floor plan, the house has a large lounge area at the entrance with a view directly through the entire home. At the center, there's a large kitchen and living room and a dining area at the opposite side of the house. My favorite part about entering this home is that you can look beyond all of the spaces in the open area and through the large sliding glass doors towards the lake and mountains. To the east and west of the house, there are 4 bedrooms with their own private bathrooms and office areas. The utility room is below the large center spaces of the house and it's accessed from the dock area outside. From the outside, you can see that the materials and design of the residence is a combination of my hand sketch and concept images developed by Google Gemini. The black wood exterior siding was inspired by one of the AI concept images. It helps the house blend into its surrounding where the natural colors of the tree bark are darker. I decided to keep the house as a single-story residence, which is different than most of the concept images from Gemini. The lower profile merges the house with the landscapes so that it doesn't stand out against the natural backdrop around it, especially when you're approaching it from the lake. Since this house has a dock at the lake, the family can take a day trip and dock in the nearest city port, and when they return, they can dock at home, walk up the stairs to the pool and pergola level, and up into the house. Or if they're driving back from work during the weekday, they can park at the private garage and use the front entrance. As soon as we enter, there's a beautiful view through the entire house towards the lake. The first space at the entrance is the grand lobby that has a beautiful pendant light and plenty of lounge chairs for people to sit together and chat before heading out. There are also skylights above this area that fills the area with lots of natural light. None of this was in the concept images generated by Gemini since those only focused on the exterior of the house. That's the beauty of using AI as one of the tools among every other skill, app, and software that you use to design any of your ideas. As we move through this space, there's a beautiful living room to the right and a large kitchen on the left. The living room has a large fireplace with a wood mantel and a large wall-mounted television above it. I decided to add fireplaces to the modern lakeside home because it'll create a nice ambiance in the colder seasons and become the space that everyone goes to be together. Since it's meant to be a long-term gathering space, there are plenty of chairs and a comfortable sofa where everyone can find their spot and get cozy. Personally, I prefer lounge chairs over sofas because I like to get up and move around pretty often, which is why I added 2 of them around a small coffee table. Overlooking the living room is the kitchen, which has a beautiful long center island with seating for 6 people. When I imagine my forever house, there's always a large kitchenette and island for gathering ingredients and preparing them for meals. I love to cook, and one of my favorite meals to make from scratch is a New York-style pizza, which is why I try to design all of my house concepts with a large island. This kitchen has plenty of cabinets along the back wall where the refrigerator and stove are located beneath the island's countertop. There are LED light strips beneath the upper cabinets and the countertop at the island, and pendant lights above the island. As I get older and my night vision starts to slowly fade, I'm appreciating having more light throughout all of my spaces, especially in the kitchen. At the furthest end of the open space is the dining area, which has a large dining table that overlooks the lake outside through the large sliding glass doors. As a millennial, I thought that the dining area wouldn't be a space that I would use much, but it's actually an important place where I try to have meals with my wife and mother, who we moved in to live with us as she continues aging in her elderly years. It's a great way of putting down all of our devices and catching up on our lives, family, and future. That's why this dining area is the second center hub of the home, with the kitchen being the primary one. The dining area is between the outdoor common spaces that everyone will use in the warmer seasons and the living and dining room, which is where people will gather in the mornings and evenings. At night, you can head to one of the 4 bedrooms that each has a king-size bed, floating cabinets, shelves, and television, and a private office area to play games or to catch up on work. The office area is separated from the bed by a wall, which was important to me in this design because I like to walk away from my work and the associated lights from the screens to head to bed. I find that I get better sleep when it's completely dark in the room. There's also a bathroom next to the office with a walk-in closet, a floating vanity and mirror, toilet with a built-in bidet, a rain shower with a shower wand, and a beautiful stone tub that's illuminated by the natural light coming through the clerestory window above. After freshening up, we can walk by the office area to the bed that has a large sliding glass door facing towards the pool and lake. There's a dual roller shade system that can be lowered for privacy and to block out all the natural light outside. When we wake up in the morning, we can head to the back patio for a dip in the pool or in the lake. It's a beautiful area with sun chairs and sofas covered by a large pergola. And that's the design of the modern lakeside home, designed with the assistance of Google's AI platform, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed this project and consider subscribing for more architecture design ideas like this one.